I want to talk about my friend, and I'm pulling out the old camera and not using the fancy microphone because I just needed to sit down and just record. I have a friend. We've actually only met once, and that was over 5 years ago by sheer coincidence outside a restaurant in Copenhagen, and we filmed a short little bit for my monthly video. But we had known each other at least a year or more before that, and it's a person that I always imagine that I'm gonna meet up with somewhere in the world. I'm gonna sit down and have, the talk about life, the talk about everything. And I follow her journey sometimes on YouTube, and mainly on Instagram, and I see the conflict within her and the self-harm and her openness with the demons that she lives with, the demons that several times has almost succeeded in ending her. And I sit here in a very different part of the world, and I don't know what to do. I mean, I write the words and I want to show that I care, but I also know that there is something hypocritical about it, because even though I've never wandered that far into the mist, I've only briefly been within the boundaries. And just by being there, I know for a fact that when you are in there, when you are caught by the demons, what you would consider normal thinking just goes away, because they take over your mind. They take over, and you start thinking things and thinking thoughts that you, when you're in your normal state, would never consider. You would just think it's ridiculous, but when you're in there, that's all that matters. And like I said, I've only been on the outskirts of this, but I know that you, my friend, are sometimes very deep within. And I have now, in recent years, this was not something you ever talked about, or that people even, it's almost like it didn't exist before. But through the connectivity of social media, we start to find out more. We know more about people. The fact that I'm sitting here talking the way I do, where would you find that, 15, 20 years ago? But I've seen friends disappear on their own account, and you're standing there thinking, what could I have done? And in this case, because I know the hypocritical of, don't worry, everything's gonna be okay, it feels like my words are not enough. How can my words on a different place in the world be enough when my friend is suffering? And all I really want to do is sit down with her, have the talk about life, about everything, about Eurovision. I'm grateful for the fact that she does share her story, but at the same time I feel so helpless. And I think about you a lot. And it's like the words are just, they're not enough to convey that. Even though we've only met once, even though we've known each other through this for years, still, I'm trying to figure out a way for me to play a part in making you feel better. I just never seem to think that it's enough. But I do care, and I do see you, and I do want to see you again. Keep fighting. Keep telling us. When you tell about the place you're in, some of that mist, some of that fog goes away. Not completely, but maybe one day you'll be able to reach your hand outside the mist, and someone there, or multiple people, including me, will be there to grab your hand and pull you out. And maybe then things will be better for a while. Just know that I'm thinking of you. Good talk.